So in the previous class, we discussed about the percentages, some questions. So in the InfiniQ only, we discussed the important points, concepts, and formulas. So some additional questions also we have done in the previous class. So I think 4 or 5 questions are still remaining. We are going to complete that. After that, we'll move on to the new topic, simple interest and compound interest. So X percentage means you know how to write X percentage, which is nothing but what X by 100, percentage less, percentage more. Percentage less can be also called as what percentage decrement. Percentage more can also be called as what percentage increment. So percentage less or percentage decrement, that will be what difference by greater number into 100. Percentage more or percentage increase formula, that will be difference by smaller number into 100. And we already discussed that in percentages you need word information into a translation form of what equations. So that is moreover important in the percentages concept. So you can see these three kind of simple translations how we can able to do X percentage more than Y. So we can write it as 100 plus X by 100 upon Y. X percentage less than Y. So X percentage less than Y means we can write it as 100 minus X by 100 into Y. And X is what percentage of Y. So X you are comparing with Y. So we can write X by Y into 100. So what information you are translating into what equation form. So these are the slides we discussed in the previous class. So I think we have discussed up to 15 questions, I think so. So let me check. So I already given the assignment on percentages. How many of them finished attendance? Raise your hands. Comment in the comment section. Yes, students. How many of them done with the attendance assignment on percentages? When you come to the offline sessions, definitely we are going to check the updated class notes as well as the assignments we are going to collect on each topic. So we have done with the question number 17. So we'll start with the question number 18 onwards. So let me know. Okay, so A04 saying done, A03 saying done. Here I can see 71 participants, but the assignments done people are what showing only 2 people. What happened to others? Why you people are not responding in the chat? Or should I consider that you people has not done that assignment? Yes, students respond. Yes. Okay. So are you maintaining the updated class notes? How many of them are maintaining the updated class notes? Just type updated. Just type updated or raise your hand. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. 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 Right. So we'll start with the question number 18, students. See here, question number 18 says, in a certain department store has 4 sizes of shirts. So the 4 sizes of shirts, and there are 1/3 as many small sized shirts as medium sized shirts, and half as many large sized shirts as small sized shirts. And if there are as many extra large sized shirts as large sized shirts, then what percentage of the shirts in the store are medium sized shirts? Here we have 4 sizes. First one of them is what? First one of them is small sized shirts. How many small sized shirts? We don't know. We'll say S. Yes, number of small sized shirts. And how many medium sized shirts? We don't know. We'll treat what? M. And how many extra large sized shirts? We don't know. We'll treat it as what? X. And how many large sized shirts? We don't know. We'll treat it as what? L. So let number of small comma, medium comma, large comma, extra large shirts is equals to S comma, M comma, L comma, X. Now here number of small size shirts is depending upon medium sized sheds? C, there are 1/3 as many small sized sheds as medium sized sheds. Means equation 1 translation form will become number of small sized sheds is 1/3 as many medium sized sheds. So this will be the first equation. And next, and half as many large sized sheds as small sized sheds. Large sheds is half as many small sized sheds. This is the second equation. And there are as many extra large size sheds as large sized sheds. Means large size is equals to extra large x. So these are the three equations. Now we don't know any value. Now what are the fractions are there in the question? Here if you see, if you want to know the value of s, you have to know the value of what? M. So that means we need to give some good value to the medium sized sheds. If you know the good value for the medium sized sheds, automatically you will get the value for what? Small size sheds. If you know the small size sheds value, you will automatically know large as well as extra large. So we already discussed when you are having the fractions in the questions. So good number when fractions are involving, when fractions involve is equals to multiplication of denominators. Multiplication of denominators. So what are the denominators we have in this? Here the denominator 3, here the denominator is 2. So multiplying 3 into 2, that will be 6. So 3 into 2, which is 6, right? So the good number you can give for medium sized sheds. So what I'll do here, let medium sized sheds is equals to 6. If medium sized sheds is equals to 6, small will become what? 1/3 of 6. So small will become equals to 2. Once you know small size sheds, you can calculate the large one. Large is equals to 1/2 times of 2, which is 1. We already know extra large sheds is equals to large one, which is 1. So then the total sheds is equals to 6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is equals to 10. Now what is asking? What percentage of the sheds in the store are medium sized sheds? So percentage of medium sized sheds is equals to medium sized by total sheds into 100. How many medium sized sheds are there? 6 by total sheds are 10, multiplication with 100. So 0 0 cancel. So 0 0 cancel. Then what you are getting? 60%. That means out of the total sheds, 60% of them are what? Medium sized sheds. Yes, students, is everyone is clear with this question? Yes, 60%. So A03 saying option choice A. I think now you realize that the answer is 60%, right? So students, everyone, each and everyone respond in the chat. Active participation is needed. Yes, is everything is clear in this question? Shall we move to the next? Okay, I got only 4 to 5 responses. What happened to others? Here I can see 90 students are there. What other people are doing? Are you sleeping? Wake up and respond here. Respond in the chat box. So should I tell these words to wake up you? Huh? So when I am asking question, each and everyone has to respond immediately. That's what I'm expecting from you. Okay, moving to the next. So move to the question number 19. So price of the kg sugar is decreased by 5%. At the same time, usage of the sugar of the family is increased by 5%. Then rate of change of expenditure in terms of percentage is. So that means expenditure 1 to expenditure 2, what happened, whether it is incremented in percentage or decremented in percentage, you have to figure out. So I'm giving 1 minute time, students. Everyone has to respond with your answer. Your time starts now. Respond with your answer. Yes, students, I'm waiting for your options. Okay, so option choice B saying, option choice D saying, option choice A. Now see, expenditure is equals to price of sugar, price of sugar per kg into number of units consumed. Right. So expenditure one, initial expenditure of the price of the sugar per kg is not given. Let us suppose initial price of the sugar per kg is what, 100, and how many units, how many kgs you are consuming? 100. So percentage are there, we can use the 100 as the number if price of the sugar is not given and number of units consumed is not given. So then the total expenditure you are spending is what, 10,000. Now what is your final expenditure? The price of the sugar of the kg, price of the sugar per kg is decreased by 5%. So before you are purchasing for what, 100 rupees per kg, now 5% decreased means now you are purchasing for what, 95 only. But at the same time, usage of the sugar is increased by 5%. Before you are consuming what, 100 units, now 5% increment means you are consuming what, 105 units. So 105 into 95. So 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5, 9 5s are 40, 5 and 9 1s are 9. So 5, 7, 9, 9. So that is 9975. So 9975 is the expenditure. So that means 10,000 to 9975. Here definitely we can see what, decrement. So decrement means option choice A eliminated, option choice C eliminated. Answer lies between B and D. Answer lies between B and D. Now percentage decrement is equals to difference by greater number into 100. Greater number into 100. So that will be 25 by 10,000 into 100. So 0 0 0 0 cancel. So 25 by 100. So that is minus 0.25%. So minus 0.25%. So option choice B. So when you have rate of change in the expenditure, rate of change in the area, right? So when you have rate of change word, we already discussed rate of change from initial to final, that is x plus y plus xy by 100 percentage. So that will be equals to x is minus 5, y is plus 5. So minus 5 into 5 by 100 percentage. So minus 5 plus 5 cancel. Minus 25 by 100 minus 0.25%. So this is method 2. Method 2, using the formula. Is everyone is clear? Those who understood, those who got option choice D as the answer, now they understood that the answer is option choice B, right? Yes. Is everyone is clear with this question, students? Raise your hands. Yes. Yes. Okay, still I'm getting only responses from 10 people. I need responses from each and everyone. Here I can see 105 participants. What happened to others? What you are doing? Okay. Now move to the next question. Amar won a competition and so he got some prize money. He gave rupees 2000 lesser than half of the prize money to his son and rupees 1000 more than 2 by 3rd of the remaining price to his daughter. If they both got the same amount, then what is the prize money Amar got? We don't know Amar got how much prize money. So we'll start with let prize money Amar got. Let prize money Amar got is some P. So this prize money we need to distribute to son, and this prize money we need to distribute to daughter. Right. Now, how much you are distributing to the son? Gave 2000 less than half of the prize money. Half of the prize money means if the prize money, total prize money is P, half of the prize money means 1 by 2 times of P. Right. And how much lesser? 2000 lesser. So that means minus 2000. Now on total prize money P, half P is goes, remaining will be what? Half P, and minus 2000 means what? It will be here 2000. This will be the remaining. Why? Because when you add these two, you should get P. So this will be the remaining amount. This will be the remaining amount, remaining prize money. So on the prize money, half P and minus 2000 goes. The remaining prize money is what? Half P plus 2000. When you add these two, you should get P. Yes, half P plus half P. P minus 2000 plus 2000 gets cancelled. On this 2 by 3rd of the remaining price, you already know this is the remaining price. 2 by 3rd of it means 2 by 3rd into, and how much more? 1000 more. So 1000 more, 1000 more. So now we got how much daughter is getting. This is the daughter amount and this is the son amount. In the question it is mentioned that both of them are getting same amount. That means both of them are equal. Right? So what I will do, will solve half P means here half P only, or else what we'll do, we'll take the common denominator's help. So if you enter the common denominator, so this will become P minus 4000 by 2, and this will be 3 goes to here, right? So 3 into 1000, that will become 3000 plus 2 by 3rd into 1 by 2. So 2 to cancel, this will be P by 3. So that means denominator, whole denominator is 3. And next 2 by 3 into 2000. So that will be 4000 by 3. So that means 4000. Okay, common denominator is 3. Now we'll do the cross multiplication. So 3 into P will be 3P minus 12,000, and 2 into 3000 will be 6000, and 2P plus 8000. So this will be 14,000 plus 12,000, and this will be 3P minus 2P. So the total prize money Amar got is 26,000. 26,000. So option choice B. Is everyone is clear? Yes, 26,000. Very good. So students, each and everyone has to respond. Is everyone is clear with this? Raise your hands. Comment the comment section. Okay, right. So we are moving to the next question number 21. The ratio of males and females in a city is 7 is to 8. And the percentage of children among males and females is 25% and 10%, 20% respectively. If the number of adult females in the city is 15,000, 1,56,800, then what is the total population? So total population, we don't know. Total population is nothing but males and females. Males is 7 parts, females is 8 parts. So let males is equals to 7x and females is equals to 8x. Then the total population becomes 7x plus 8x, which is 15x. Now what he mentioned next, percentage of children among males and females. So males, which is 7x, and females, which is 8x. On that, some children are there. That means remaining will be adult. So here also some children are there. So remaining will be adult. So that means female child, female adults, male child, male adults. Now, what is the children among males? 25%. Means remaining will be 75% will be adult. Here 20% of the female will be child, means 80% of them will be adult. Now we're talking about what? Adult females. So underline the word adult females. So calculate adult females. On the females 8x, 80% will be called what? Adult females. So here what I'll write? Adult females is equals to 80% means 80 by 100 and females value, which is 8x, and clearly adult females value is mentioned what? 1,56,800. So 1,56,800 is equals to, this will be 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 into 8x, right? So what we are going to get? So 4 table, 4 3s are 12, 4 3s are 12 over, so 36, 4 9s are 36, 4 2s are 00, right? So here what we are getting, 8x is equals to, let me write, x equals to 39,200, right, multiplied with 5 but divided with 8. Now we need total population, which is 15x. So 15 into 39,200 multiplied by 5 by 8. So 8 table, 8 ones are 8 fours are 32. So 32 means 72. Right, so 8 9s are 72, 00. So 4,900 into 15 5s are 75. So now you tell me the answer. 4,900 into 75, what's the answer? Okay, 3,67,500. So 3,67,500. So option choice B. Yes, students, very good. So is everyone understood? The answer is 3,67,500. Is the procedure is clear, students? Raise your hands, comment the comment section. Is question number 21 is clear? Yes. Everyone has to respond in the chat. Okay. So we'll move to the next. Question number 22. In a company ABC Private Limited, the ratio of total number of undergraduate employees to the total number of graduate employees is 13:23. So total undergraduate is, if I say 13x, total graduate employees, which is 23x. The company has only two branches. One is in Chennai and another is in Delhi. Means undergraduates, some of them will be from Chennai and some of the undergraduates will be from Delhi. And from the total graduates also, some of them will be from Chennai and some of them will be from Delhi. So the total number of undergraduate employees in the Chennai branch is 351. So total undergraduate is 351, which is in Chennai, which is 30% of the total undergraduate employees. So 30% of the total undergraduates is 351. So what we can write? So 30% of total means 30% means 30 by 100 of total undergraduate is nothing but what? 13x, which is equals to 351. Right? Now what we require? So 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0 cancel. So x value is equals to 351 into 10 by 3 into 1 by 13. So this we got for x value. Now what is saying here? What is the total number of graduate? Total number of graduate. We already know total number of graduates are what? 23x. So 23x. So that is equals to 23 times x value already we know 351 into 10 by 3 into 1 by 13. So 13 table will go with 13 ones are 13 twos are 26. So 13 sevens are 91 and 3 ones are 3 nines are. So 2 3 into 90. So 23 into 90. So what we are going to get? So 9 threes are 27. 9 to the 18 plus 220 followed by 0. So 2070 is the total number of the graduates. If you see, question is having more information, but if you see the steps of solving, it will be very simple question to solve. Here we are having more wordy information. What we need to do? We need to convert into equation form easily. Yes, students, everyone is clear? Shall we move to the next question? Raise your hands, comment in the comment section. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we'll move to the next question, students. So Jaya attendance for the first two semesters out of the 4 was 60%, 70% respectively. What is the minimum attendance required in the third semester so that her average attendance will be 80% throughout the 4 semesters? Assume equal number of days among the 4 semesters. So that means equal number of total days are there. Equal number of days are there in the each semester. On that 60% of the days attended in the first semester, 70% attended in the second. So like that, what will be the minimum attendance percentage required in the third, so that overall attendance percentage in the 4 semesters to be maintained what? 80%. So 2 minutes time, students, respond with your answers. Yes, students, I'm waiting for your responses. Students, I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. Yes. If you see, assume equal number of days among the 4 semesters. So, equal number of days are there, right? So, let equal number of days, in each semester is equals to 100. That means total days in 4 semesters is equals to 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, which will be equals to 400. Now what is the attendance? You need to maintain 80%. So to be maintained, so attendance to be maintained, attendance percentage is equals to 80 percentage of total attendance. 80 percentage of total attendance, which will be 80 percentage of 400. So 80% of 400 will be equals to 320, right? So Jaya attendance in the first semester plus second semester plus third semester plus fourth semester. So first semester how much? 60 percentage, right? So 60 percentage of 100. In the second semester 70 percentage, I think. Yes, 70 percentage of 100. In the third semester, how many days present? We don't know. We need to figure out that is X, but minimum number of days to be present. So if you want to make minimum attendance required in the third semester, we don't know about the fourth, right? So what we will write here, maximum days to be present. Maximum days to be present in fourth. Maximum days to be present in fourth semester. So if you want to maintain, minimum attendance in the third semester, you know to maintain what? Maximum days you know to present in the fourth semester. Then only we can write it as we need to maintain minimum number of days present for the third semester. So the rule is you have to maximize the fourth semester attendance. Then only you can find out what are the minimum days you can present in the third semester. So maximum days to be present in the fourth semester. So that will be equals to 60% of 100 will be what? 60. 70% of 100 will be equals to what? 70. And X minimum we are finding. And maximum days to be present in the fourth semester means here in the semester of fourth semester, we have 100 days. That means how many days maximum Jaya can present? 100 days only. And the total attendance she need to maintain is what? 320. So 60 plus 70, that will be 130 plus 100, 230 plus minimum number of attendance days required in the third semester equals to 320. So that will be equals to 90 is equals to X minimum. So here in terms of percentage, 90 percentage. So minimum attendance required in third sem is equals to number of days present by total days into 100. So number of days to be present is what? 90, and total days are what? 100 into 100. 100 cancel. 90 percentage is the answer. Option choice B. Yes, students, now each and everyone is understood the answer is what? 90%, right? Minimum attendance required. Yes, those who are saying 95%, now each and everyone is understood that the answer is not 95%. The answer is 90%. Respond in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm moving to the next question. So move to question number 24. So question number 24, this kind of question is already we discussed. I'm expecting answer from your end. Just I'm going to explain the question. In an examination, Balu scored 45% of the marks and still failed by 18 marks. In the same examination, Radhika scored 54% of the marks but got 27 marks more than the passing marks. What is the score of Mohan in the same examination who secured 75%? So this is the question. So students, I am expecting an answer from your end. 2 minutes time. Respond with your answer. Yes, students, I'm expecting answers. I got 3 responses. What happened to others? Okay, right. So in an examination, Balu scored 45% of the marks. In that examination, what is the maximum marks which is not mentioned? So what I will do, total marks, let total marks in examination is 100%. So Balu scored 45%, means out of the 100%, 45% means what? 45% of the marks, but he failed by 18 marks. That means if he got addition of 18 marks, he will pass. So that means if I add 18 marks to the Balu score, which is 45%, he will pass. And in the same way, Radhika scored excess. She scored 54%. Due to that, she got 27 marks extra than pass marks. So what I'll do, from the Radhika score, if I remove 27 marks, she will get exactly pass marks only. So pass marks is equals to 45% marks plus 18 or 54% marks minus 27. Now from this, we can equate left hand side and right hand side. So 54 percentage minus 45 percentage and 18 plus 27. So 18 plus 27 is 45 and this is 9%. So 9% of the marks in the examination is what? 45, and we need to figure out what? 75%. So 75%, which is Mohan scored. Mohan secured. So we don't know Mohan secured. Let us suppose X marks he secured. X marks is nothing but 75%. So we need to figure out. So do the cross multiplication. So 45 into 75% is equals to X into 9%. So percentage goes cancel. Percentage cancel. 9 ones are 9 5s are. So 75 5s are. So 5 5s are 25. 5 7s are 35 plus 2 37. So Mohan secured in that examination X marks, which is nothing but 375 marks. Is everyone is clear, students? Raise your hands. Comment in the comment section. Is everyone is clear with the question number 24? Shall we move to the next? Okay. So moving to the next. So question number 25. A student took 5 papers in an examination where the full marks were same for each paper. His marks in these papers were in the proportion of 3:4:9:11:13. In all papers together, the candidate got 60% of the total marks. Then the number of papers in which he got less than 70% marks. That's the question, right? So what we will do, so we have paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4 and paper 5. So maximum marks in each paper, it is not mentioned. So maximum marks which is not mentioned, but he mentioned that full marks in each paper is same. So here the question is dealing with percentages. So bring good number as what? Paper 1 maximum marks are 100, paper 2 maximum marks 100, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5 maximum marks are what? 100 only. So we can calculate the total marks. So total marks will become equals to 100 plus 100 plus 100. So like that 5 times we can calculate easily, which is 500. This is the total marks. But how much he got? Candidate got what? 60%. So candidate got 60% of total marks, which is 60 by 100 into total marks is 500. So that will become equals to 60 into 5. So which is equals to 300. So total marks he got is 300. In the first paper, how much he got? 3 parts, 4 parts, 9 parts, 11 parts, 13 parts, all together will be what? 300. So these 300 marks distributed in the ratio of 3x in the paper 1, 4x in the paper 2, and next what? 3x, 4x, 9x, 11x, 13x. So 9x in the paper 3, 11x in the paper 4, and 13x in the paper 5. So what we will write here, 300 is nothing but 3x plus 4x plus 9x plus 11x plus 13x. So 11 plus 13, 24 plus 9, 33, 33 plus 4, 37, 37 plus 3, 40x. So 40x is equals to 300. So x value is equals to 30 by 4. Now what is said? in how many papers, the number of papers in which he got less than 70%. So 70% means each subject maximum marks is 100. So 70% of 100 will be what? 70 is our target. So paper 1 we already know he got 3x. 3x is nothing but 3 into 30 by 4. So 3 into 7.5. So no need to calculate, which will be less than 70 marks. Less than 70 marks. So we can consider. What about paper 2? So 4x. 4 into 30 by 4. So which will be 30, which is less than 70 marks. So this also we needed. What about paper 3? In paper 3, 9x, which is 4 into 30 by, 9 into 30 by 4. So 9 into 30 by 4. So how much you are going to get, which is 67.5, which is less than 70 marks. So paper 4, which is 11x. So 11 into 30 by 4. So which will be 82.5, which is more than 70 marks. We require what? Less than only. So it will be eliminated. So paper 5, which is 13x, definitely more than 70. So this 13x will be definitely more than 70 marks. Why? Because 11x only more means 13x will be definitely more than 70 marks. So it will be eliminated. So out of the 5 papers, in 3 papers, he got less than 70% of the marks. So option choice B is the answer. So Snehit, the answer is 3 papers.